Hello, welcome back to another video. So this is gonna be a video of first video in two-part series about, well actually I guess three-part series about the ever first World Jigsaw Puzzle Championship that I attended, which was 2024, which happened in September. But basically I've been sick ever since I got back and just overtaking the whole video making process has been a bit daunting because I have so many videos and so many live streams to go through, so it's a bit daunting, but you know, I decided to divide it in several parts just to make it easier on myself. Anyways, so in this video we're gonna talk about the first 3 days of the competition, and let's jump right in. Day 1. Okay, so on this day, it was the day of the travels. We woke up like 4 a.m. to get our flight, and we went from Madrid, from Madrid to Valladolid with a train, which was very nice, very fast. It was a fast-speed train. It only took 1 hour from Madrid. And our hotel was like 8 minutes walk from the station. And then from the hotel to the dome was, I think, like maybe 15 minutes walk-ish. It was very, very close. We already had the walk memorized by the last few days, so it was very nice. After we got to our hotel, we got there very early, so they didn't let us check in, but we could. They let us drop our cases, so that way we didn't have to lug them around and we could go exploring. We went to see the Valladolid sign, which was on the way to the dome. It was very nice. We took some pictures, and then we went to scope out the dome. And can you believe it? It was like 11 a.m. I think about 11 a.m. when we got there, and there were loads of puzzle people all around already. They were just like hanging around. It was like a meeting spot, I think, probably for people who hadn't necessarily met in real life. You know, because a lot of people, for myself included, we got an international team to participate, and I hadn't met these people before, right? So you kind of had to set up time when to meet for the first time. And Dome was a perfect place. There's like a lawn in front with some benches, so people were chilling there. We also chilled there for a bit. Then we went to eat lunch. Then we went to check in, drop our cases, and eventually it was time to go back to the dome for the opening ceremony. So the first day, basically there was opening ceremony. Then you could pick up your accreditations, and then we had there was a puzzle quiz. I didn't participate in puzzle quiz because I'm a bit awkward and I don't know that many, you know, information about puzzle history. Just I don't really know that much. Only things I know about like puzzle history is from Karen Puzzles videos when she does like antique puzzles. Well, I say antique, like older puzzles. So I really didn't know that much. So I didn't participate, and plus I didn't know 8 other people or however many people you had to put up the team, so I would have to, you know, get together with strangers, and I'm too awkward for that basically. So I didn't participate in the puzzle quiz. But yeah, so before the opening ceremony, we went to, there's like a super cool park in the middle of Valladolid. Would recommend. Honestly, the highlight of the city, it has a bunch of birds, ducks, geese, peacocks. They're all just chilling there. You're not supposed to feed them, but we didn't see the sign before we gave them some cookies, some like salty cookies. And after that we didn't feed them, and there were also squirrels, and they were all very like brave. So they would come almost next to you to see if you're gonna give them some food. So anyways, that park was awesome. Would recommend. Highlight of the city. It's very, very nice. I mean, generally speaking, like Valladolid is very green because they have the river through the middle. So yeah, I like that part. It was very nice. Okay, so opening ceremony rolls around.
One thing, the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championship 2024 is about to get underway!
We're just there. You could make your own jerseys, which is what I'm wearing right now. This was my jersey for my individuals and pairs category rounds. And I also got a jersey for my partner. Here is the jersey from my partner. And funny story, okay, so you could print your own jerseys there. So you would go to the stand. Also, one quick thing to mention, like the queue control was non-existent. People would cut line constantly. It was so irritating because I guess nobody was brave enough to tell people off for cutting line. So it was taking more than necessary basically for you to get your turn. And there were only 2 people working the stall, and there was so much demand also. Anyways, eventually I got it. So I chose, mine has this design. We have the Latvian flag on the side because we were representing Latvia, and I have the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championship logo on the back. But you could also print, so I was making this jersey basically also as a pairs competition. That's why mine doesn't have the pairs. But my partner was only participating in pairs, so I decided to put the pairs. You could put like I will put some pictures. You could put like all the pairs participating. Obviously, they don't fit in one shirt. But you could put the one that you wear in, your name was on the back. And it says World Jigsaw Puzzle Championship 2024. Or at least that's what it should say. But look what it says. Says World Jigsaw. So when people started noticing, it was like, oh my god, hee hee ha ha. So yeah, there's a typo. And you could only get this typo on the first day, because by the second day they had cut off, on the stencil was a whole thing, they cut off the top and they brought like the proper ones, not misspelled ones, that you could put on top. So you could get your names and the proper one on top printed. So anyways, they're lovely shirts. I love them. I will keep them. They're gonna be very nice. So yeah, we got those. And then, as I said, the queue control was non-existent. So there was one big queue to get your accreditations. But then another queue formed. And there were only 3 people giving out accreditations, which was, considering that there was like probably more than 1,000 people showed up for the opening ceremony to get their accreditations. It was so slow. Plus, obviously people coming from like different countries maybe weren't able to pay their participation fees online. So they were also doing that at the same time. So, you know, we were in the queue for a long time, but then the people right before us were paying their participation fees, or like lots of people together, and it was taking such a long time because they were like, okay, so this much for this bit, then this much for that bit, and obviously the other 2 people, for whatever reason, were only servicing the other queue. And so we were there waiting for 5 minutes until I kind of butted in, because it's like, dude, you see, just do like a zipper method then at least. You see me waiting in the queue for like 5 minutes behind these people who are paying, and honestly, it's like they weren't even looking at the other queue. It was very annoying. After that, the subsequent days when they were selling the puzzles, they were already telling people, okay, this is the queue, you have to go to the end of the queue, you can't be butting in. But on the first day, it was horrible. So, anyways, let's go through the goodie bag. Here's the goodie bag. Valladolid. So the event was sponsored by the town hall, Valladolid town hall. So you got 30% off for 30% off for photo puzzles from Ravensburger. Problem is, it doesn't ship to where I live. They have a local Spanish Ravensburger, but they don't ship to the islands. So non-Canary Islands, Balearic Islands, none of the like external regions that are in Africa, you know, they don't ship to those for whatever reason. It's like a big company like that, and they don't ship. So I can't even take advantage of this promotion. So sorry. I mean, I would take advantage of this promotion, but I can't. Then we have, okay, so let's see, where do I have this? Right, so they were also giving out these like pieces from this brand puzzle. It's wooden puzzles. I'm thinking it's a local brand. I haven't researched this. I should have maybe, but I didn't. And they were giving every participant who was getting a goodie bag got a piece of this puzzle that you could then go to a location and try it in an actual puzzle. And if your piece fit, you would get like a 70 euro gift card to buy a puzzle from them. So I got 2 pieces because we were 2 participants, plus I found a piece on the ground. So I ended up with 3 pieces. And actually they look so same. 2 of them look the same. They look, no. They're all different. But yeah, none of them fit. So we didn't get the free puzzle, but we were talking about, this was probably kind of like a way to sucker you into buying the puzzle. So I did end up buying one of these puzzles. It was like a very splurge because they were not cheap. I bought a 70 euro one. I'll show you. I bought a 70 euro one, which is this one, which has doggies on it. So, you know, and it only has 259 pieces. So, you know, it's not super cheap, but I thought, you know, we're in puzzle town, so I'll just splurge. So then next thing we got in the goodie bag is a guide from Valladolid Guide. Then Valladolid tourism booklet for places to see. Then we got World Jigsaw Puzzle Championship 2024 rules and timetables. Another Valladolid, like kind of another tourism booklet thingy. Then you got a hat with World Jigsaw Puzzle. So actually, since I've gotten back, I've been wearing this hat to see if people come and say hello. People who do puzzles, because I don't know anybody who does puzzles in my area. So yeah, and then last but not least, we got our little accreditation thingy, and actually I got a few pins from Donna Louise. She gave me some pins. That's the only pins that I got because I was too shy to go say hello to people. But yeah, here it was showing on this bit, it was showing your qualification rounds only. Obviously, if you qualified for subsequent rounds, you had to they would send you an email when you had to participate. And that was it. That was the whole goodie bag. Also, as I was queuing up, Metrolia from Twitch, a fellow puzzle streamer from Twitch, she came to say hello, because I was telling her, because I got a duplicate puzzle, and it was brand new, and I was like telling her, okay, we're both going to this event, do you want this puzzle if you don't have it? And she said, yes, give it to me. So I brought the puzzle, and she gave me this awesome puzzle stand. So now I'm fancy, and I have a very sturdy, it's 3D printed, very sturdy puzzle stand with this big piece cut out. So I'm very happy about that, because previously I didn't get a puzzle stand. And yeah, so then for the first day, that was all we did for the first day. That was on my schedule. I didn't participate in a quiz, and I didn't take a nap on that day, and I had been waking up at like 4 a.m. So we just went after that to the hotel and went to sleep, because the next day had some exciting things to do. All right, so let's go to day 2. All right, so day 2. You might notice that I've changed my jersey. Why is that? Well, let's give you a little bit of a backstory. So, a few weeks before the championship, there had been, well, let's see. I've been contacted a few times by some fellow Latvian speed puzzlers, and there were a couple of girls who had participated last year. There were only 2 Latvian participants, and they decided to create a Latvian Jigsaw Puzzle Association. So this year, let's start the beginning. Last year, they decided to do the first world record attempt for 2,000-piece puzzle, and so they invited a bunch of participants, like good puzzlers, good speed puzzlers from all kinds of countries to do it. And so they completed the 2,000-piece puzzle in, I want to say, 1 hour 24 minutes, around that, last year. So this year they decided to make an event out of it. So they invited all the official associated organizations, national organizations, to make kind of 10 people teams to participate in kind of a race with a 2-hour time limit to do the same puzzle and see if the record could be broken. And I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen going forward also. I'm pretty sure next year they're gonna do it again. Anyways, so they invited me because they had seen that, you know, not like I'm super fast, but like I'm also not super slow. So they invited me to participate in a team and I got a jersey. And I have my Instagram name on the side. So that morning before the event, I went to meet all the Latvians. It was very nice because I could practice Latvian. Also, it was very awkward because I didn't know anybody. So yeah, we talked a little bit of strategy. I was put on the water duty, which is fine because I had looked at the picture before, but I hadn't done the puzzle before. And they had been practicing before as whoever could make it to their practice session, like 5 people at a time. They had never managed to do it in under 2 hours, but I will add some clips from the live stream for you to see when they showed us on the camera and when they mentioned us in the live stream commentary of how it went. But yeah, we did really good. 10 people make a big difference, I guess. We did it in 1 hour and 14 minutes around that. The 2,000-piece puzzle, and I was very happy. I felt like I contributed. To me, also, it was a big problem because I hadn't done the puzzle before, so I was hogging the box all the time. I feel a bit bad because I was like, I just don't know, the picture is so good. I just don't know picture, so I had to keep looking. Something that wasn't kind of like super distinct, I had to keep looking at the picture. But it was very fun. It was very nice. Yeah, we did the puzzle. I get to meet Latvians. I kind of make a little bit of connection. So if I ever go back to Latvia, I can meet with the puzzle people and have some, they make some local competition. So if I would go to Latvia, I probably would try to make my travels around that time when there's a competition just so I can participate. But yeah, it was lots of fun and hope you enjoyed the clips.
We kind of got there. I don't know. you know some words, and you know the colors, and that helps a lot actually, because you can say, okay, light blue, and everybody knows, okay, the water is meant. So yeah.
Swimming
but
pool.
it was a difficulty, and I think that's an advantage the national teams also have, that they.
I'm president of the UK JPA.
Yeah, now it's going to be who's coming in second and where are we at. Like, yeah, that would be great. Thanks, Charlie. No,
they're doing some
they're
shape
doing
sorting.
well.
Okay,
Shape
that's
sorting. I hadn't thought of that as a. I mean, that actually isn't a bad strategy because, like you said, when you get to the end.
But they should have put it on trays.
Oh right, yep. So they're not. Yeah, because right now you have to be right in front of it to kind of know. But it's not a bad idea when it's
if
such
you
a
move
jumble.
around, then it's also a possibility.
And I'm not seeing, it's hard to tell if folks are swapping out very much. I'm not really seeing that
I haven't seen
happen
it
on screen, so maybe, but I will say this is like a little different from our other competitions because, usually it's all very kind of regimented. It's like, this is how this works. With this, it's a bit more loose, I would say, because you've got all these people gathered. It's a little bit more of a casual, messy atmosphere, a bit more chaos time.
I know.
World record holder, congratulations.
Thank you.
So, okay, tell us everything. How did this come about? How did you prepare?
There was a lot of planning. So our team had 2 copies of the puzzle. Alice had one and then Andrea had one. So they both were able to, I believe, complete it before. And then they split it into sections so that once we got here, people... The box, we had no idea. We were just trying to find things that, because it was so far away, we couldn't see where anything was. So we were like, okay, I know the water goes together. And then there's some pyramid, we kind of learned things as we went. And so I think with all the preparation this year, definitely helped us.
Yeah. So... What's the feeling? Are you now exhausted, or are you like pumped up for the rest of the week?
I'm actually pretty energized. I'm lucky I don't compete till tomorrow, so I just can hang around today. Or the pieces that we saw, but that got a little hard after a while, so then we just jumped in, and it wasn't as bad with 10 people around the table as I thought it was going to be. So.
It's crazy to me to think of how strong that team is, that Kelly Walter and Andrea Peng, two of the top puzzlers in the world, are sorting. How does that work, Kelly? How do you end up in the sorting category instead of the actual placing?
I like sorting. So in the pair, I sort and Andrea assembles.
Okay.
She doesn't love it as much as I do. So I volunteered because I also hadn't done any of the sections, but I thought I could remember where some of the pieces, some of the elements went. And then since I think the Netherlands, I heard that they practiced.
Canadians are
The
looking
Canadians are looking close.
Yeah, whoever that is in the top right. Is it,
Latvia, I think.
Is that
yeah,
Latvia?
they're really close.
Yeah, they are.
So Kelly, what was your prediction doing the puzzle today? How fast it would?
I don't know. Our team kind of said around 45. I think that was, it was so chaotic the whole week, and it was like right in the middle of it that I forgot that it even happened.
Wow. Okay.
At some point.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. I mean, there was a lot going on. You know, you guys are probably a little bit more focused on your individual pair and team performance than you are the Guinness part.
I think I planned to be more focused on the individual final, but then in the end, the Guinness World Record was my favorite event of all. So
It was also my favorite.
Oh, that's cool.
It was really fun. It was also cool that there was like 5 different languages.
Yeah, true. That was so cool. Being like this international team and just getting the ability to puzzle with all of them together.
Kati was speaking to herself in German and I was just laughing the whole time.
There wasn't even another German on the team. But I think many people are like, I like to do the chill version of doing puzzles.
Sure. No, I predict that after this week, you mentioned earlier, Kati, the myspeedpuzzling.com. Have you checked this out, Kelly?
I have. Yeah, I haven't had the time to put my own times in, but I definitely, if I finish a puzzle, I'll go and look and see.
Yeah, it's a good way to gauge.
It's a
how
great
you're doing.
opportunity to compare times, and it's also great technical work.
Yep. Yeah, it is. It's a really great website. So it's just myspeedpuzzling.com. It's the ability for people to track basically their progress and share it online so that others can see how fast you did it and whether they, how they compare.
I think it's currently at 26 minutes or even faster.
Really? I think so.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know.
Yeah. Kelly's shaking her head like, no, thank you. Fastest time we've seen, you mentioned earlier, Teresa from the Czech Republic finished a puzzle in like 30 minutes last year in one of the qualifiers, and everybody's minds were blown, and it was kind of just an awe-inspiring moment.
I think if they are going to use the postcard again this year, then we're going to even have a faster time because people were practicing it.
Yeah, that is going to be the big thing, is when we see the puzzle images get rolled out. Any predictions, Kelly? Any hopes for what you want to see in your division?
I've done 2 of the new ones because they're pretty expensive to get over to the U.S. So I think the Longhorns one and then the Pink Thunderstorm.
Oh, yeah. That one's difficult.
Yeah, it's in Arizona, though, where I'm from, so that's why I bought it.
Okay.
That's cool. So for those
which
of you
country is
listening,
this?
this is
still Latvia.
Oh, it's Latvia. Okay, here we go. They're getting down there. But yeah, so
I didn't have them on the radar.
No,
I didn't either.
Is there one up there? Oh, there's one.
Oh, look at, they just are like flurry of activity. They're going to come in under the record as well.
2 pieces left. Maybe more.
It looks like it's a little bit of a ridge there in the middle. Was it hard as far as the space?
Okay. Great job.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It wasn't for me, but I don't know about the shorter competitors on our team if they had more of an issue with that.
Yeah, because it's a big...
Okay, so after the team's event for the world record attempt, we didn't have any competitions planned for that evening because there were only 3 individual qualifying rounds and I wasn't in any of them. So what we did is, because we hadn't puzzled together with my partner for a very long time, and I knew that some of these puzzles that I actually had purchased but I hadn't done could come up, we decided to do a practice puzzle. And I'll add it here as we are practicing. So the thing is, I had purchased a new phone because mine was like 5 years old, just so I could be recording my participations, because I didn't want to get a camera because I don't really film. Right now I'm filming on a webcam actually. So I don't have like any kind of high level production going on here. So I got a new phone with a better camera just so I can record my participations, because I wanted to keep it as a memo to add it in a fun little short, which maybe not gonna be very short video. And yeah, so we did a practice run of this. Puzzle. It's called Northern Lights in Tromsø, Norway. Okay, so I didn't think it was too bad. We did pretty good. I went on the sky and my partner had the bottom duty. I mean, I helped a little bit, but mainly I did the sky. And I thought this puzzle for sure could come up at the competition. We managed to do it in 58 minutes and 33 seconds, so it wasn't too bad. Yeah, the gradient in the sky was very nice. There was only one little patch which was really dark. It was right here. And if you had nice, good natural lighting, this puzzle wouldn't be too bad. The problem was now that if we would get this puzzle in competition, our round was at 9 p.m. So the lighting, like, it was all artificial light and it's not very good in the dome. So I was happy that we didn't get this puzzle. Alright, so that concludes day 2. We ended up with that practice puzzle. Then we were just chilling, went to scope out some local places to eat, and onwards to day 3. Alright, so day 3 was a big day for me because I had individual qualifying rounds bright early in the morning. I had to wake up very early. I think I woke up at 7 a.m. to make sure I could get everything done, eat breakfast and such before we had to participate. It was a 9 a.m. start. And then at 9 p.m. we had the pairs practice round. So we got bright and early, we get to the dome. It was kind of rush, sit down. And the thing is, I had purchased a bunch of the puzzles that were, except for one of them, one of the qualifying rounds for individuals, all the rest of the puzzles I owned, but I hadn't done them. So when I saw some of the puzzles that were used, I was getting scared that I might get a puzzle that I hadn't done. But I had. And so I was like, please, give me something I have done, I guess. Except maybe Paris postcard, because I know people had practiced the shit out of it. Or, it's just such a nice puzzle that if I would get it, I thought, maybe it would kind of be shooting myself in the foot a little bit, even though I had done it before also, but not many times. I hadn't practiced a lot. So, and anyways, out from the bag, we got Hello Vinyl puzzle. I had done it before. My time on the first try wasn't very good, but I did it in the evening. And there are some dark bits, and especially this, like, you can, in natural light, you can see that there is difference. But when I did it the first time, it was in the evening, and I couldn't, it was just all black. So I had to do it by shape. My first time was horrible for this puzzle, because apparently everybody had good times on this puzzle. According to speed puzzling, I'm basing my first reactions on myspeedpuzzling.com. Anyways, I was happy to see this puzzle, but I was also very nervous. So my hands were trembling so hard as I was opening the puzzle. Also, I got 28th seed. I don't know how, because it's not like I'm that good. I'm not the first 28th on the round. How do I know? Because I finished 42nd. That's how I know. So, I don't know how I got that high of a seed, but I got seeded there, and I was very nervous because, like, I don't know what these people are expecting, because... Anyways, I finished the puzzle 42nd, but I improved my personal time on it by 16 minutes. So, 2 things happened. First things, that I did it in the natural light in the morning. And second thing is that I did it the second time, right? And I feel like the slower it takes on the first time, the more familiar, because you have more time with the pieces, the more familiar you get with the puzzle, so the better you do it the second time you do it, I feel like. Anyways, my time was 51 minutes and 35 seconds, which, as I said, placed me in the 42nd place, and I comfortably qualified for semifinals. But, I mean, don't get your hopes up, because qualifying to semifinals, I want to say, was kind of easy. I guess maybe not easy, because, you know, there were 180 participants per round and only 60 qualified. But if you qualify from the later spots, I want to say past 30, top 30, you kind of know you will have a difficult time to qualify to finals, because on average, I feel like on average you do similarly in every qualifying round, and you will see it in my doing every individual puzzle from Worlds video that comes at a later date, that I on average had more or less the same spot on puzzles I had done before, and in around 55th spot, you know, if I would have gotten it more or less on puzzles I hadn't done before. So on average it was the same. So that means there are in every round, and each semifinal had participants from 3 rounds. If you just by averages, if 40 people are better than you, then you would land yourself at least in 120th spot. And that's not good enough to qualify for finals. So anyways, that's news for another video. Yeah, that's basically what it told me, but I was happy to qualify for semifinals. And you know, this year on semifinals there were unreleased puzzles, so at least I would get a new puzzle that I hadn't done before. But yeah. After that, we had the whole day ahead of us. So we went on walks and went to take a nap and so on and so forth before our qualifying round for pairs. So we didn't practice that much with my pairs. My pair does not puzzle on their own. We only practice together for puzzles because I kind of told them we participate, so we should practice a little. So when we got there, I was hoping that we didn't get, because there were some hard puzzles in pairs before. There was an easy puzzle, but then there were some hard puzzles. So right before us, they had, I think one of the hardest puzzles is the pink thunderstorm. It was horrible. I saw people really upset because of the lighting situation. So when our time rolled around, I was like, please give us something we can at least finish. Because I was like, okay, let us finish at least this puzzle. So when we opened the bag, surprise, surprise, I had seen this puzzle, but we hadn't done it before, but it was Brunch Crunch. It's a super amazing puzzle. It's such a good puzzle for speed puzzling. I was so happy. Plus, it doesn't really affect the bad lighting doesn't really affect this kind of puzzle, because it's just distinct textures. It doesn't have shading. It doesn't have gradient. It doesn't have dark patches. So you kind of, when you pick up a piece, except these 2 plates of the fish that are the same, everything else you can tell where it goes. The only problem at that point is like, how fast can you put in the pieces? How fast can you recognize the orientation? You know, like this round circular perimeter and so on and so forth. That's basically on you. So we got seeded, and again, this is like, how did they decide to seed us in 44th spot? We got seeded in 44th spot, and I'm like, why? How? Like, we have nothing, no participations prior. So we didn't fulfill that expectation. We finished 104th. Yeah, so that's pretty far away from top 90, even though, okay, not top 90 by speed don't qualify, right? That's not the rules. But I feel like to just help your ego a little bit, getting also to top 90 at the same time as you qualify, let's say by country rule, is kind of nice, because, you know, top 9 you would say like the fastest people. Obviously, that's not the case in this competition. The rules are different. I think in qualifying rounds for pairs, the 45 first by country qualify, and then 45 by speed. So we were 45 by country, so we did qualify with our placement of 104th for semifinals. Yay! For me, and not so great for the other people who were ahead of us, who were much faster, but such is competition rules. Anyways, we qualified. So that was nice. I mean, I knew at that point we're not gonna qualify for finals, but I was happy to be in semifinals because, again, it was unreleased puzzles. So, very happy about that. That was the conclusion of our official participations on the day. It was a very busy day, but it wasn't over because I still hadn't met up with my team because, you know, they had different qualifying rounds. And so we decided after this very late qualifying round, pairs qualifying round, to meet up with my team to at least do a practice puzzle because we had to participate the next day. But before the participations, I had the semifinals for individuals and semifinals for pairs, and I didn't really have time to do it the next day. I didn't have time to practice the next day before we had to actually participate. So we said, you know what, let's go and do some puzzle before the next day. So we went, met up with my team. They were all lovely. You will see some pictures when we actually participate together. It was really cool. Our team name was Rivendell. And we actually, one of our teammates got us some elf ears. I wore them for the competition. For whatever reason, during the competition, one of them wanted to fall. But yeah, I was into this whole ear thing. So we did a puzzle. You can see it now, the time lapse. We did talk strategy before, how we're gonna divide the tasks. Because, you know, in teams, even though I had never teamed together with anybody, participating in teams, you know, I've seen videos of other teams participating together, and you kind of have an idea that you have to divide tasks. Somebody's a sorter, somebody goes on the edge at the beginning, somebody who's maybe better with some abstract features does that. Maybe somebody who's really good with like swaths of color does one thing. So we had to kind of go through with strengths and weaknesses of every person and decide who is gonna do what. Basically, they told me that as I'm more or less the stronger puzzler or the faster puzzler, I should be choosing what I do, but honestly, I wasn't very good at choosing. So even during the practice round, they kind of were like, okay, we sort out the pieces, okay, because I'm maybe the fastest person to put them together. They were like, oh, maybe you should do this section. I was like, okay, you know, do that section. So that worked for me. Because I did choose one section, but after I had done that section, I was like, which one do I do? And we were actually good about swapping places, so that was nice. We did the practice puzzle. It went pretty good. We did it in 1 hour, and I think we did it in 1 hour and 10 minutes and 47 seconds, which is pretty good. I thought it was an adequate time. So to me, it seemed like if we got a similar puzzle, we could at least finish both of the puzzles. You will see on the next video how it actually went. But yeah, that concluded the day 3. It was a very busy day. I qualified for 2 semifinals, and I was very happy at that point, even though I had some looming doubts there. But I was happy at that day, and, you know, hopeful going into the next video. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay safe, and meantime, I'll be puzzling. Bye!